What scares writers more than public speaking? Apparently, opening an old draft. I asked you all here on YouTube which writing situation you most wanted a calmer inner voice for, and I included public speaking because that's one of the big fears people talk about all the time. I also included getting feedback on your work, which I know can feel very nerve-wracking for a lot of us. But the one that you chose most often was opening an old draft, and I kept thinking, why would that be? So I did some research into why old work can feel so uncomfortable to come back to. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what I found and talk about what might be happening in your brain and how you might approach an old draft with more calm and a lot less judgment. As I was thinking about this, I remembered something that happened with my very first novel. It was published over 10 years ago, and I heard a while back that somebody had read a copy of it. A friend was telling me about it, and to be honest, I was a little afraid to hear what this reader thought of my very first published story. But the person who was telling me said she actually really loved it. Of course, I was delighted to hear that, but I was a little surprised too, which tells you something, right? We writers are so critical of ourselves, and it was almost because I couldn't quite believe this story that I went and picked up that first novel of mine and started reading the first page. And here's the important part that I remembered. I was expecting it to be bad, and I'm not sure why I was expecting that, because that book was traditionally published. Somebody thought it was good enough to invest in and put out there, and this reader had just read it and really enjoyed it. So why was I still expecting to cringe? And the more I thought about that, the more this poll started to make sense to me. Because when we go back and look at something that we wrote a long time ago, we're looking at it through different eyes, aren't we? I mean, we're more experienced as writers, but we're also just more experienced as human beings. And somehow those older eyes can feel more objective. And here's the kicker. It can feel like now we're going to see the truth. And what truth do we writers think we're going to discover? You know how it goes. We're afraid that the book or the draft or whatever it is not going to be very good. And not only that, we're afraid it's going to prove something. What could it prove? That maybe we were fooling ourselves when we thought the writing was good back then. Or that we're just not the writers we hoped we were back then, which of course means that maybe we're still not the writers that we want to be now. Maybe we're just deluding ourselves this whole time. And I think that might be why opening an old draft can feel so much scarier than it should. So I'd love it if you'd tell me in the comments, is this it? Is this why you would be nervous about opening an old draft? Let me know if I got it right. In the meantime, let's look at this more closely and find out why we think this. That even after years, this idea that we're no good stays with us and what we can do about it. And if this is the kind of thing your writing brain does, come join us in Writer's Brain Studio. The price goes up tomorrow, June 22nd. So the link is below if you want to get in at the current rate. Now back to the video. So why does this happen? Why can something as simple as opening an old file bring up so much discomfort? I think there are a few things going on here. So the first is that your brain may not see that old material as neutral. If I open someone else's old draft, I can look at it and think, okay, so this part is working, this part is a little confusing, this character has potential, and I really like this part, stuff like that. But when I open my own old work, it's different. That draft came out of my mind and my imagination. So if I read it and think, this isn't very good, it's really easy for my brain to slide from maybe this page has a few problems to I just wasn't a good writer. And there's research around this. It turns out that the brain processes self-related information differently. Studies on what's called the self-reference effect show that we tend to remember and respond more strongly to information that feels connected to us. So an old draft isn't just an old story. To our brain, it's extremely personal. That means when you open it, you're not asking, is this scene working? You're asking, what does this say about me? And of course, that's a much more difficult question. The second thing that makes it hard to look at an old draft is that time makes us feel more objective, which you'd think would be a good thing, and it is in some ways. But when it comes to looking at our own stuff, that usually means we're not going to be fair. This is the part I was noticing in myself. When I looked back at that first novel, I was looking at it with more experience. I know a lot more about writing now than I did back then. So in one way, yes, I can see things that I couldn't see then. But if I'm being fair with myself, I could just say, well, this was my first novel. Obviously, I got better with experience. But for a first novel, I did great. But instead, I was unfair with myself. And I think most of us do this. We do this weird thing where we take everything we know now, and then we use it to judge who we were before. It's one thing to say, I can see how I would handle this differently now. I mean, that's growth. But it's another thing to say, because I would handle this differently now, this old work must be embarrassing. That's the inner critic rising up when he has no business doing so. I think this is part of why old drafts can be so hard to open. We think our more experienced eyes are clearer, and often they are. But more experience can also be more critical, and that doesn't help anybody. But it's not only our past selves that we're judging here, and that's where this gets a lot more painful. Because if I open an old story and I decide it's not very good, I'll start by judging the writer I was back then. I might think, wow, I really didn't know what I was doing yet. Or I can't believe I thought this was working. But the bigger problem is that the judgment usually doesn't stop there. It does this thing where it slowly reaches forward in time, and the brain says, well, if I thought that story was good back then, and now I can see all these problems with it, what does that say about my judgment now? And that's where the real anxiety comes in, because now this isn't just about that old draft. Now it's about whether I can trust myself. What if I was fooling myself back then? What if I love that story because I just couldn't see it clearly? And what if I'm doing the same thing right now with the story I'm working on today? That, I think, is one of the reasons opening an old draft can feel so unsettling. We're not just afraid we're going to find weak writing. We're afraid that we're going to find evidence that we can't trust our own sense of what's good. And that's a scary thing for a writer, because so much of writing requires us to trust ourselves. We have to trust our instincts and our creativity and our taste, and to keep going before we have proof that this story is going to be anything. We have to care about the story before anyone else validates it. And we have to make choices before we know if they're going to work. So if an old draft makes us feel like, maybe I was deluding myself then, it can shake the confidence we need to have now. So we have to be very careful with that, because seeing a weakness in an old draft doesn't mean that you were deluded then. It just means that you've grown and you can see more now than you could see then. And that's not evidence against you as a writer. It's actually evidence that you've been becoming one all along. It's actually a good thing. We just have to remind ourselves of that and not let this inner critic run roughshod over us. So what do we do with this? Should we just avoid the old drafts? Sometimes maybe. I mean, I've done that a lot. I don't go back and look at my old work, not usually. So if you know that you're not ready to go back to it, or if this really isn't the project you want to work on anymore, feel free to leave it alone. That's absolutely fine. But if the story keeps tugging at you, or if you need to go back to it for some reason, and make sure it's a good reason, don't put yourself through this if you don't have to. I don't think the answer is to avoid it forever. Instead, we just have to be aware of the minefield here and protect ourselves. Most of us open an old draft as if we're about to find out whether it was good or bad. And I think that's the wrong point of view to start with. So the first question shouldn't be, is this any good? The first question should be, what am I actually here to see? Because if you open the draft looking for a verdict on whether you're a good writer or not, your inner critic is going to be more than happy to put on his little black robe and start banging the gavel about how good you are not. So you have to decide the reason you're going back. Make sure that's very clear in your mind, because that's what you want to focus on. So before you open the file, I would actually say this out loud or write it at the top of a note page. I'm not opening this draft to judge myself. I am opening it to blank. And you fill in the blank with your very good reason for doing this. It may sound simple, but it gives your brain a different job. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that I'm always saying that your brain needs a target to shoot for. If you just open the draft willy-nilly and start reading, it's going to default to the negativity bias that we know it has. The inner critic is going to feel like it has free reign, and it's going to tell you everything that's wrong with this story and why you really aren't the writer you thought you were, blah, 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 blah. You're going to go down a spiral and feel discouraged and all those things that we don't want you to do. So give the brain a target. I'm looking at this old draft to see what, to check what, to look for what. You want to give your brain a job. That can help keep the inner critic behind closed doors. where you can't hear him as well. And then depending on what you want to do with this draft, you can take steps to do that. If you want to see if it's worth reviving, go through and make note of what's working and what's not, so you have real data and can make a decision. But don't go in looking for proof that you're a good writer, please. Go in looking for the thing you came to see and remind yourself that whatever you find there, it's not a verdict on who you are now. One more thing that I would suggest if you're going back to look at an old draft is to ask yourself if you still feel the spark for it. Maybe you have an old story that you're thinking you should go back and finish out or write or get into shape so you can publish it. I've had thoughts like this before because I have many unfinished drafts in my computer from the time when I was writing a lot of stories and not finishing them. That's why I always say make sure you're finishing your stories, because you can't do anything with an unfinished story. And it's important to teach yourself how to finish a story. But if you have, let's say, an unfinished draft and you're thinking you'd like to go back and finish it, one of the ways you can finish that sentence with the blank at the end that I suggested, I'm going back to see what? You could put in that sentence, I'm going back to see if this story still pulls at me or if I still have passion for this story. Because one thing I've noticed whenever I've gone back to an old draft is that my passion for that draft is spent. I no longer care about the characters. I no longer care about what happened. There was a reason I left it behind. And when I go back, I can see, oh, there's some good things here, but I don't feel compelled to finish this story. And I think when we're writers and we're thinking about spending a year or however long we're going to spend with this novel-length manuscript to get it up to shape, that is a lot of time. So when we're looking at an old draft, we have to be sure that we have the passion and the energy to go back and finish it out if that's what we're intending to do. So that would just be a suggestion that you want to ask yourself if there's still passion and life in this story for you. And if so, absolutely see what you can do to shape it up and finish it. But it would give you a real target you can look at instead of, is this writing any good? I've found this to be really helpful, and usually it leads to me just leaving those old stories behind and going on to the new one that I'm excited about. Not saying that you always want to leave your old ones behind, but just saying be really clear on why you're going back to look at them. So your mission of the week is not necessarily to open your old draft. It's to ask whether you actually need to, because sometimes we go back to old work for a good reason. There may be something there that still feels useful or alive to you, and you want to explore it and see if you can make something of it. But sometimes we go back because we're poking the bruise. You know what I mean? We want to know if it's really as bad as we're afraid it might have been. Or we want the old draft to tell us whether we were any good. And that's not a great reason to open the file. So before you go back, ask yourself, am I returning to this draft because there's something useful here for me now, or I'm going to find out if there is, or because I want it to judge me? If there's something useful there, go ahead with a clear purpose. But if there isn't, you're totally allowed to leave that story right where it is. And if this is the kind of thing that happens in your writing life, this is exactly why I created the Writer's Brain Studio. Inside, I help you build a calmer, more workable writing life. This is the last video I'm releasing before the price goes up for good, and it's never going to be this low again. So if you've been thinking about joining, this is the time. The link is below. I'd love to have you there with us. And if you feel like sticking around, check out the next video coming up on the end screen that's going to talk more about making sure that your inner critic doesn't derail you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.